Hello again, kindergartners. I'm Mrs. Boydston, and today we get to go back and look more at our book, Panda Kindergarten. Today we're going to practice many of the comprehension techniques that we've been learning throughout the year. Some of them will be simple question and answer. Hello, kindergartners. Mrs. Boydston. Today we get to go back and have more fun with our book, Panda Kindergarten. Today we're going to practice using comprehension techniques and skills that we've been learning throughout the year. Some will be a simple question and answer format. Some might ask for your opinion. For those, there's no wrong answer. It's whatever you think. You can make some predictions, but whenever possible, try to answer out loud and try to answer in a complete sentence. Even if no one's there to hear you, you can still practice these first grade readiness skills. To start with, can you tell me the title of our book this week? The title of our book is Panda Kindergarten. I'm going to go ahead and turn the page. This one we've looked at it a couple of times. This is the table of contents. What do you find on the table of contents? On the table of contents, you find a list of the stories or articles that are in the book. We're going to turn the page till we get to our story. Here it is. It says Panda Kindergarten by Joanne Ryder and photographed by Dr. Catherine, make that bigger, Catherine Feng. So if it's by Joanne Ryder, what do we call her? Joanne Ryder is the author. If it says the photographs or illustrations are by Dr. Catherine Feng, who is she? She is the illustrator. We can't really do too much predicting because we already saw the book, but that's okay. Here we go. Now listen carefully in case the question asks for some information from the story itself. One panda cub is a sight to see. Two panda cubs together is rare. But imagine seeing 16 young giant pandas all at once. Meet a panda kindergarten class at the Wolong Nature Reserve in China, where pandas are protected, loved, and given great care. All right, first I'm going to go ahead and ask you, which picture is your favorite? Do you like this picture of one cuddly panda bear? Do you like this picture of the two panda bears playing together? Or do you like this picture of all of these baby pandas? Because it's an opinion question, whatever you answered is correct. That's how you feel about the answer. Now for a factual question. How many baby giant pandas are in this picture? Do you remember? If you're not sure, you could check the illustration and figure it out yourself, or you could go back and reread the words. 16 young giant pandas all at once. So we can say there are 16 giant pandas in this picture. Each cub is born in a cozy room on a soft bed of straw. A newborn cub is fuzzy and pink. After a few weeks, it starts to look like its black and white mother. All right, here's a challenging question. Can you tell me any of the adjectives or describing words used on this page? I'll read it one more time so you can listen carefully for them. Each cub is born in a cozy room on a soft bed of straw. A newborn cub is fuzzy and pink. After a few weeks, it starts to look like its black and white mother. Now that we reread, did you hear some of those adjectives or describing words? I'll list some of them for you and see how many you caught. Cozy, cozy is describing the room. Soft, soft is describing the bed of straw. Fuzzy and pink, both to describe the baby panda. And after a few weeks, it starts to look like its black and white mother. So 5 describing words in that short passage. Where should I start reading on this page? That's a pretty easy answer. You might not even know you had to think about it. But at the beginning of the year, we didn't always remember that we need to start reading at the top left-hand corner. We always read from left to right. So I can see the words. I'm going to make them a little bit bigger. An ever so big mother panda carries her ever so tiny baby, holding it firmly but tenderly. She guides her new cub, which cannot see her, to rest on her broad furry chest and drink her fresh milk. The passage tells us that this baby animal drinks its mother's milk. Do you remember what kind of an animal that makes this baby? Is it an insect, a bird, a reptile, a mammal, or a fish? If you said it's a mammal, you are correct. Mammals are the animals that are born, so they're not hatched from an egg. They drink their mother's milk, and they have some sort of fur or hair on their bodies. All the young cubs are watched over by their mothers and by kind, trained people. Pandas often have twins, but a mother can care for only one cub at a time. On this page, they introduce a problem that needs to be solved. What is the situation that causes a problem? The problem or difficulty is that even though the mother may have twins or 2 babies at the same time, she's only able to care for one baby at a time. Do you recall how they take care of the other baby? Let's see if you remember. The other twin needs to be fed and kept healthy and protected in a nearby panda nursery. If you remembered that the pandas are sent to a nursery and taken care of by caregivers, you were correct. Now listen closely. As the small bears grow, the skilled and helpful people and the mother panda swap cubs so that each twin gets constant care and both share time with their mother. With such a loving team, each panda cub grows and grows. Slowly, its eyes open wide and it begins to see its mother's furry face and other faces full of smiles. There's a word on this page you might not know. Let me read it for you again. As the small bears grow, the skilled and helpful people and the mother panda swap cubs. Do you know what it means to swap the cubs? If you're not sure, you could go back and reread to clarify the meaning. It says they swap cubs so that each twin gets constant care and both share time with their mother. So when they swap the cubs, it means they trade them. And the mother panda takes care of one cub for a while, and then it takes care of the other cub for a while. While the mother bear is not taking care of a panda, it is being cared by a worker in the nursery. Seems like a good situation. When the panda cubs are big enough to leave their nursery and their mothers, they are ready to have new adventures and to make new friends in panda kindergarten. Here come the kindergartners. Look at them go. How do we know when the pandas are ready for kindergarten? If you heard this sentence, when the panda cubs are big enough to leave their nursery and their mothers, then you were correct. When they are big enough to leave their nursery and their mothers, then they are big enough for panda kindergarten. The young pandas have their own panda playground full of places where cubs can swing and climb and play with their new friends. Pandas that play together may learn to be comfortable with each other as cubs and as adults. Excuse me. Does that remind you, can you make a connection to your own life? Yes. When you are in kindergarten with others and we learn to play and get along as children, that makes it much more likely that you will be able to work and get along as adults and hopefully still play together too. In their outdoor playground, the curious cubs learn exciting things about their world. They discover snow is cold and very slippery. What does the word curious mean in this passage? You might have connected that to the times we've used that word before, like when we talked about curious George. When pandas are curious, it means they are wondering about their environment and they're going to try to explore to figure it out. Pandas always find new ways to play, like tugging and tearing and touching their toes. To a panda cub, almost anything can be a toy. Have you ever used a box as a toy, the way these panda cubs are? I know my daughter used to love playing with a box almost more than anything. She even built Box City. Bolder and stronger, cubs try new things, climbing high and dangling until it's time for lunch in the panda kindergarten. All right, it says these cubs are bolder. What do you think that means? It says they're bolder and stronger. What do you think bolder means? You might have heard that term before. A boulder could be a big rock, but here it says that when they are bolder, they try new things, like climbing high. So bolder must be something like braver. They're ready to give new things a try. With so much to do and so much to discover, lively little bears start feeling tired and sleepy. It's time for the cubs to take a nap. Why are the cubs ready to take a nap? If you said they are ready to take a nap because they have been very busy discovering and being lively or active, you were listening correctly. And you don't have to have exactly the same words, just the same meaning. The young pandas will be together in panda kindergarten for about a year. As they grow older, some will stay safe in their Wolong home and have cubs of their own. What will some of the cubs do after panda kindergarten? According to this page, some of the cubs will stay in the area and grow up and have their own families in their Wolong home. So do you recall what's going to happen with some of the other cubs? Let's check and find out. One day, some may be chosen to leave and live in the bamboo forests in the tall, misty mountains nearby. Then the rare pandas born in Wolong would roam free and wild, able to use the skills they learned when they were small. Did you recall correctly? Some of the pandas will be chosen to go live in the wild, and then they can help repopulate the wild population of panda bears. Where did they learn the skills that will help them to be successful in the wild? They learned those skills in panda kindergarten, just like you are learning skills in people kindergarten that are going to help you be successful as you grow older. Learning from each other and from the people who care for them, the pandas born in Wolong are on a special journey that gives, that giant pandas, I'm going to start again, learning from each other and from the people who care for them. The pandas born in Wolong are on a special journey that gives hope to pandas everywhere and to all who love them. Time for an opinions question. Did you enjoy this book about pandas? I know I did. Tomorrow we're going to find out a little bit about another endangered species. I'll see you back here then. Thanks, kindergartners.